What are we going to learn to do? Go ahead, Jeremiah.
Student will learn the process that is needed in order to multiply fractions.
So what are we going to be able to do?
Multiply fractions.
Multiply fractions. All right, number 2. What else?
Student will apply the process and work on sample problems.
So you're going to learn the process, and then you're going to do what? Apply the process. You're going to actually do some problems on your own. Which disciplinary literacy strategies are showcased in this lesson? In this lesson, I showcased the graphic organizer. Ready? Now, y'all know I love to come up with little sayings, little chants and stuff, right? So we got a new one for multiplying. Multiplying fractions is no problem. Top times top and bottoms time. What's it telling you to do?
Multiply the top and the top and the bottom.
So it's multiplying top times the top and the bottom times the bottom. Does that sound easy? Super easy. Watch. Okay, we're going to work one together. Oh, it's blinking. What's blinking at us? Top times top and bottom times bottom. Well, we got 1/2 times 3/4. Now, when would you ever multiply fractions? I've always wondered that. It's always drove me nuts. I was like, really, when have I ever in life multiplied fractions? But I actually figured it out this weekend. Can anybody think of it? When you would multiply a fraction? Baking. Could be baking. You're right. If I wanted to do half of the recipe, but only wanted to do half of my class because they only deserved it, only half of my class deserved a treat, so I would need half, so I could do half times half. Yeah, maybe. You're right. Okay, cooking. Anything else? What about if I'm ordering floor for this new room?
Oh, yeah, like coffee.
And I have a room that is 4.5 feet by 7 3/4 feet. Would I need to know how to do it then? Yeah, so I would know the square area on the rug that I'm going to buy or the new flooring that I'm going to buy. Because I don't want to buy way, way much, but I don't want to buy not enough. Because then I only have half the floor and it'll look ridiculous. We're going to work one together though. So I'm going to take off the feet and I'm just going to do the fraction part. But I actually did have to do this weekend. We're remodeling the lake house and I really had to do this. Because I really want this floor in my kitchen. And my husband says, no, that's too much. And I'm going, no, we really need this floor. And he says, well, you need to figure out how much it's going to be. So what do I have to do? I really had to figure it out. So I couldn't be wrong. Because if we went to get it from Lowe's and we didn't have enough money, then I'm going to look silly, right? So help me out. So is this 1/2 times 3/4? Did I put my number in the right place? Sure? Are you positive? Now all I got to do is multiply. What is 1 times 3?
3.
What is 2 times 4? 2 times 4? 8. Now look at your answer and see if you can reduce or simplify. Can I reduce or simplify it?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Because what goes into 3? 1 and 3. Well, I don't want to use 1 because it's going to make it the same. But can 3 go into 8? Not evenly. So no, that's as low as it can go. That's my answer. How easy is that?
Easy.
Good girl. Yeah. How low can you go? Can you go down low? All the way to the floor? How low can you go? What's 7 times 8?
56.
And what's 8 times 9? If you got 56 over 72 on this step, raise your hand. Oh, we're good. All right. What do I do next? How low can you go? Can you go down low? All the way to the floor? All right. 56 and 72. What is a common multiple that I can divide by? 8. 8 would be your best bet. You could do 2, but you're going to be doing 2 for the rest of your life. Do 8. Divide the top. What I do to the top, I must do to the bottom. What's 56 divided by 8?
7.
What's 72 divided by 8? So my final answer is 7/9. All right, turn to your foldable. What led you to select this particular strategy for this lesson? In math, I was trying to find a way that my students could have a visual and keep up with it in their interactive notebooks. The one we just did, the multiplying and dividing fractions, and turn to the multiplying, just the first one on the left, multiplying fractions. Can I borrow this for a second? Thank you. We got 4 windows. What do the windows say? Just like adding and subtracting. First step we're going to do, open this up. We're going to fill this out. The very first top line says get common denominators. When we were adding and subtracting, what did we have to do? Get common denominators. So, do I have to get the same common denominator here?
No, but you just said we have to get the same.
Look at the one you just did. You do not need to get the common denominator. You do not need to get common denominators when you're multiplying and dividing. So if you forget, when you see a problem, what can you do? Get this out. Exactly. Look back. You've got a foldable for adding and subtracting and multiplying and dividing. Follow your steps. How does this strategy assist students with understanding the mathematic goals for this lesson? A visual and organization to track their thoughts. If you have colored pencils, I want you to get them out. In this blank, we're going to write analyze. You've heard that word a million times, haven't you? When you are analyzing in this math problem, what does analyze mean?
Like underline.
Look. What's another one?
Underline.
Underline. Read. Observe. What are all these things telling me to do? Annotate. Read. Look at the directions and the problem. Look at it. And when we look at it, we're looking to see if we can simplify before we ever start. Go to this problem. Analyze it. Look at it right now and analyze. Think. 3/4 times 6/15. Can I simplify one of these? Before you blurt, just think. That's all I want you to do. Because sometimes the answer might be yes, I can simplify that one. It might be no, I can't simplify either one of those. So if I gave you 3/4 and told you to simplify it, could you get it any lower than 3/4? Are you sure? Is it as low as it can go? If you think, yes, this is as low as it can go, this is already as simple as it's going to get, raise your hand. Like, there's no way of reducing this. This is as low as it's already going to go. You think you can get 3/4 lower? Did you see how long it took me to analyze that one problem? That's how long it should take you. You got to slow down and really look at it. Really analyze what you're doing. So 3/4, is that simplified? Yes, that's as low as it can go. I'm marking it out. I'm done with that one. Times. Remember our dot is now used for times? Because why don't we use X anymore? Looks like a letter, so it looks like algebra. Good. And then we reduce 6/15 to what? 2/5. Here's my new problem. Now I'm done with this. Multiply the numerator by the numerator and multiply the denominator by the denominator. So multiply the numerator by the numerator. 3 times 2. And then I'm going to multiply the denominator by the denominator. 4 times 5. And I'm going to solve it. What is 3 times 2?
6.
What is 4 times 5? What is my last step? Simplify, if possible. Ready to try one with a partner? Are you sure? I want you to use these steps when we try it. I don't want you to jump ahead because I know y'all real quick about jumping in and not analyzing. Slow down and look at the problem. All right, on my website, in case you forget how to do this also, I've put this video on my website too. It's going to give you another problem. I want you to work it out with a partner, and then we're going to watch the video and watch the man. He's going to work it out also. So I want you to do it first. 4/5 times 2/3. I'm going to listen to see if I hear the words that we used while we were going over our steps. You might want to keep that out because I want you to go by each step. How did you analyze?
We were checking over it and seeing if we could simplify the answer.
Oh, no. You haven't got the answer on the first step. First step. Analyze. Can you simplify?
Oh, do we doing this one?
Okay. Can you simplify?
No, ma'am.
Can you simplify? Now you can move on. Trust me, it's going to make your life a lot easier. Because if we didn't, on this one, if we hadn't have analyzed this and we have not, and we didn't simplify, you'd have had to do 4 times 15. Which would have been a huge number compared to 4 times 5. I'm trying to make your life easier. See if you got your answer correct.
Video, I want to go over multiplying fractions. And multiplying fractions, in my opinion, is easier than adding or subtracting fractions because you don't need a common denominator. Our bottom numbers do not need to be the same.
1/2 times 3/5. Sure is. 3/10. If you agree, raise your hand. Several of us skip this step. But I'm not going to skip this step because it's the first step that I'm supposed to do. It tells me that on my foldable. Can I reduce 1 over 2? No, so I'm going to write it over. Can I reduce 3/5? No, it's as low as it can go. But I did my analyzing. And I know that they're as low as they can go. They're as simplified as they're going to get. And I'm going to multiply across. 1 times 3 is... And 2 times 5 is? Can I go any lower than this? No, because 3 goes into 3, but 3 does not go into 10 evenly. Okay, 6/8 times 2/3. Let's look at my steps. Is that, well, if you got 1/2, raise your hand for your final answer. What's some other answers that we got?
I got 1/3.
1/3? Anybody else?
3/6.
3/6. You're saying yeah, 3/6? Oh, let's work it out. What's my first step? This is where you got. This is where we messed up. Analyze. When I analyze this, I'm looking at it really, really good. 6/8. Can it be simplified? Yes. I can divide by what? 2. What I do on the top, I must do on the bottom. 6 divided by 2 is? 8 divided by 2 is? Can 2/3 be reduced? No, so I'm just going to rewrite it. Times 2 times 3. And I'm going to get 3 times 2 is? 6. And 4 times 3 is? 12. Now what's my final step? Simplify. I'm going to simplify by 6. Because I know that 6 goes into 6 and 6 goes into 12. What's 6 divided by 6? 1. What's 12 divided by 6? 2. If you did 3, or if you did 2, you would have got 3/6, which could then again be reduced again to 1/2. If somebody else did 3 and got 2/4, wasn't it? Then y'all go to 2/4, and then you simplified again and got 1/2, which was fine because you still went as low as you could go. Ready? Here's your exit ticket. You got to turn it in for me. You also have to explain the steps of multiplying fractions. I want you to list those 4 steps without using your foldable. Let's see who can do it. I want you to see your partner work at the top and then your exit ticket at the bottom. 4/12 times 3/7. What do you like most about this strategy? I like the fact that they keep it in their interactive notebooks and they can always refer back to it, and that visual stays in their head for future references.